Only deep can call to deep. And I don't know if I'm actually going to post this message because it's kind of personal and it does have something to do pertaining to matters of the heart. And if y'all know me and have been following me for a while, y'all know that I've been avoidant of love or anything pertaining to it. But I had this experience this weekend, specifically on Halloween, when it comes to being around the opposite sex. And this message goes deeper than just that. It's not just about men or women or just romantic or platonic. It's deeper. And I'll explain this in the best way that I can for those of you that get it, I am a very in tune person. And I have the ability to, or have had the experiences that have shaped me in a way that has caused me to be very in tune with myself and in tune with my spiritual gifts, which means I have done the shadow work required to dig through the superficial with myself, to dig through the lies, to dig through all of the things that made me separated from my emotions for a really long time. And the older I got and the more shadow work I have done, it only got deeper and deeper and deeper to the point where I have all this depth. And you hear people talk about this a lot when it comes to, oh, I want to talk to people that actually have depth. I want to talk to people that actually have that are deep. I want to have deep conversations, right? But that can only be acquired or accumulated by going deep within. I don't know if you ever heard the phrase of surface level conversations or surface level relationships, but that's exactly what I'm tapping into, right? Surface level interactions, surface level jobs, surface level desires, surface level things. Period. See, when you go through the shadow work and all the depths and all of the different seasons of your life that pull you deeper and deeper and deeper into yourself, the older you get, the more mature you get, the more wiser you get, because sometimes that has nothing to do with age. I've seen 11, 10, even younger kids have the emotional intelligence and the depth more so than a fucking 30-year-old man or woman. These kids these days have more depth than adults. So age has nothing to do with wisdom or depth. Now, the more experiences that you get, it can add to that. But what I'm tapping into is the concept of surface level versus depth. I went through a lot and have gone through a process up until this point that has allowed me to sink more into the deep. So the phrase that I quoted earlier, only deep can call to deep, I'm bringing that up because now I just feel it so deeply. There is this attraction. You're starting to attract people to you. And I mentioned this to you all before in a previous message, but the concept of having all of these options, all of these illusions, all of these different choices, it can get very confusing when you're not sinking into the depth, the undertone, the undercurrent, the honesty within self that's required and that you have earned through all of the shadow work, all of the betrayal, all of the heartbreak, all of the abandonment that you did within yourself, and the work you did that was required for you to come back home to yourself. And the work you had to do to now be more in tune with your emotions, more in tune with your honesty, learning how to be honest with yourself. It's created all this depth. And depth the fruit of that yields discernment. I'll give you an example. I was out this weekend, right? I was looking good in my costume for Halloween or whatever. And it attracted all of this newfound attention, all of these. And mind you, I've been in hermit mode. So this was one of the first few times that I actually got out around other people in a larger crowd in a while. So this is my first time going out and not just being around people, but being around the opposite sex, being around men. And one of the few things, because I've been single now for, I want to say 3 going on 4 years, with the exception of maybe some situationships here and there, but serious committed relationships, it's been over 3 years, right? But one of the main things that kept me separated from going into anything serious is the fact that I was afraid that I was going to make the same mistakes, choose the same people, keep going through the same situations over and over and over again. But the more I sat with myself and learned how to be honest with myself, and the more depth I found within self, the more discernment I was able to yield when it comes now to other people and choosing opportunities. It's not even anything I have to say anymore. It's a feeling. So let me circle back around to the example I'm gonna point out to you all. There was this specific guy that came up to me, or I think I went up to him, whatever, semantics, and introduced himself. And just off of eye contact alone, and then a handshake, I could feel how empty and how hollow he actually was. I could feel it. It felt like speaking to the shell of a person who hasn't actually sat with themselves in a really long time. And this is no disrespect to him, but this is me communicating what depth actually feels like. You're coming up on a season now where you don't have to exert all of this energy to use discernment. You just have to trust the work that you've already done. And only deep can call to deep. So when it comes now to new people coming into your life, you'll be able to recognize, or even opportunities that come into your life, you'll be able to recognize the things that are actually for you, because only deep can call out to deep. Like I mentioned, when I shook that guy's hand or even just looked in his eyes, I could feel how hollow it actually was. He looked good physically, and if I was just wanting to have a good time, I definitely could have. But I've gone through too much internal work to ignore the fact that I could feel the lack of depth that he had, which means that he was misaligned with me. Only deep can call to deep. Only deep can recognize deep. So there are like surface level interactions versus depth. Someone that is actually for you, an opportunity that is actually for you. It is going to be easier now. And easy, I say that to help you to understand. Only deep can call to deep. Only deep can recognize deep. So at this point, it's past the point of just being easily fooled or easily manipulated, or what they call counterfeit opportunities, counterfeit partners, these false flames, these false twin flames. It's going to be harder now because you've created all of this depth within you. You've learned how to be honest with yourself. You are way too deep to attract surface level things. So what used to get past you will no longer be. And it's because only deep can recognize deep. So there are interactions now. For some of you guys, this is pertaining to love. Just the same way that I was able to recognize someone who was very surface level, you're going to be able to now recognize someone that actually has the depth that matches you. And you're going to be able to feel the difference, both romantic and platonic. Opportunities, money, where you spend your money, where you spend your time. Deep has to call to deep. So there's no longer any more room for any surface level interactions, people, places, or things. Deep has to call to deep. and the both of you are going to recognize each other because of that depth.